Hi there, welcome to CarlaVoyance, where I discuss all things intuitive, Akashic records, and counselling. I'm the owner of Carla's Realignments and the author of various personal development books. I'm your host, Carla Savannah. Thank you for joining me.
Hi, Patreon family. I'd like to welcome Amla, Carolyn, and Eddie to our Patreon family. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon, guys. I'm ever so appreciative. Let's keep talking about parenting. This week, I wanted to touch upon some of the reasons why people choose to have children. This is a really, really important subject, I feel. It's important to know some of the reasons why you choose to have children. It's an important thing to know about yourself. Whenever I have people say to me, I want to have a baby, I really want to have more kids, the first question I ask them is, why do you want to have kids or more kids? The array of answers I often get will actually probably surprise you. Some of the answers I get are, I feel like there's something missing in my life. I don't believe in abortion. I'm getting older and my biological clock is ticking. If I have a baby, I'll get the benefits from the government and I won't have to work. My partner really wants to have a baby and I really want to make my partner happy. Having a baby will save my marriage and it will make sure that my partner stays with me. My children need siblings. I'm lonely. A child will always love me unconditionally and never leave me. I need to have children so I have someone to take care of me when I get older. I've got my career sorted and this is just the next thing to do. I've been married for a while and that's just the next expectation of me. I want a big family, or I've failed with my first child, now I want to make sure I get it right the next one. Some of you may have been really surprised with some of these answers, or some of you may even have expected some of these answers. You'll notice that a majority of the answers seem somewhat selfish or self-centered, and that's mainly because most people decide to have children as a form of comfort to themselves. Most people choose to have children because they feel as though there's something missing in their lives. Most believe that when they have this child, that they will feel better or be less lonely or be better off somehow. Can you imagine the burden that it could be on a child to carry this expectation? I personally decided to one day ask my mother, why did she have me? And her answer to me was, your father really wanted a baby and he was always with other women and abusive towards me. He made me believe that if I gave him a child, that he would settle down, commit, and we would be a family. So that was the burden that I was born with, to fix my parents' relationships. To my mother's disappointment, I wasn't successful in completing this mission. This resulted in her constant resentment towards me, her criticisms and manipulation to use me to somehow bring some sort of sense of order and structure to my dad's feelings towards her. My parents were never going to last. They separated when I was 5 years old. And if that was my mother's intention for my birth, it's not surprising that I was always going to feel as though I was never going to be good enough. It was my responsibility to somehow straighten out my dad, so to speak. How many parents out there are having kids because they believe that the birth of this child will make them happier and complete in some way? Have you ever asked yourself, why do you want to have kids? My book, which I just shared this week with everyone who's on the $7 tier upwards, discusses vastly around this topic, as it's the very first thing that should be addressed before even considering to have any children. You can tell by the answers that some of the people have given. You can tell by their answers, their emotional maturity or immaturity and their consciousness levels. The best answer that I have actually gotten to this question, or the answer that I've ever heard, was because I have so much love to give and lots to offer. This was always been the best answer for me anyway. by far, because the person that gave me this answer wasn't expecting anything from the child. This person didn't expect the child to fulfill a need within them. This person simply wanted to share all the abundance that they already had with a child. Only when you are full and only when your cup is overflowing with love and you have so much to give or offer another human, that's when you should consider having children or more children. Not because you don't have enough or enough attention or enough love or enough money or enough self-acceptance. Interestingly, this is also the same reasons why people get into relationships. People seem to desire and get needy for relationships because they are somehow lonely, or they want another person to complete them, give them love and attention that they don't give themselves, or even for financial security and to share certain sense of responsibilities. I remember once asking a friend of mine. She was in her 40s, no children. She'd been with her husband for over 15 years. I asked her if she ever planned on having children. And she replied to me with so much maturity, "Why the hell would I bring a child into this world so I can screw up another person's life?" Here I was thinking she would make the most incredible mother because she was absolutely amazing with my children. But I guess that's probably why I thought that. I was able to see the maturity and wisdom within her, that part of her that knew that it was a huge responsibility to become a mother and possibly even fail at it or screw up another human's life. She had never had any children, and she'd already knew that it was going to be a thankless job and a huge responsibility. It's these people who take the job criteria of being a parent so seriously that I believe should actually be having children. But those who consider bringing a child into this world just for the sake of their own fulfillment, of their own needs, I feel like they're the ones that actually should consider a little bit more their decision in having kids a little bit more carefully. A child isn't a trophy that you win or a badge that you wear on your shirt. You won't get a medal for being a parent or for parenting. It's another life, and you don't own them. The biggest part of conscious pre-parenting is knowing yourself very, very well first, before you can ever teach another human how to know themselves. Interestingly, I was actually going to call my book Licensed to Become a Parent, but I knew that was going to be a little bit too confronting for some people, so I just called it How Do I Know When I'm Ready to Have Kids? Now, I don't want anyone to get the wrong impression, especially of me, because I was one of those mothers that had my first child for all the wrong reasons. And today it shows within my eldest daughter's biggest insecurities. What I put my daughter through while I was learning how to parent, I wouldn't wish upon any child. That's why I wrote this book. The book was a way of me hanging out my dirty laundry for everyone to see the mistakes that I have made and how I became better for them. Next week, I'm going to look at some of the things that we can do to actually prepare ourselves to become better parents. Hopefully you can tune in then, and thank you for listening to me. I'm Carla Savannah. Have an amazing day. Mwah.